docked.
Something I can help you with, Dusty?
Ask whatever you'd like. My parents considered themselves to be enlightened, but their lives were so busy they rarely pursued their beliefs. By the time I was old enough to start questioning these things, the idea of following any organized religion was almost an afterthought. It's not that I don't want to believe in anything, it's that my scientific mind is often at odds with my spiritual center.
For real.
Having been out there, in the Starfield.
You said it.
Seeing all those magnificent wonders with my own eyes. I need answers, not religious theory.
Yo, that's so
I'm
real.
sorry if that disappoints you, but don't worry. While we're on this journey together, I fully intend to respect your religious beliefs. Exploration is my entire life. I consider it both a career and recreation. That being said, I will make a confession, but you have to promise to keep it between us. Before I graduated from school, I was in a band.
A band?
And no, I don't mean the school band. I mean a rock band. We called ourselves Ironic Comet.
That's hard.
A ridiculous name, I know. But we were just a bunch of teenagers getting together and having fun. And before you ask, no, I wasn't the lead singer.
Drums?
I actually played the drums.
Hold on.
The band never really went anywhere, of course, but those were good times, and I remember them fondly. Oh, okay then. Okay.
Let me out! Ah! Oh, wait, boarded.
A vessel like this certainly brings back memories.
How can I be of service, Captain?
Welcome aboard the UC Vigilance. Did you have any questions before I escort you to the commander? Yeah, listen to him carefully. The commander's a one-and-done kind of officer. In other words, he hates to repeat himself. Other than that, just observe standard military decorum, and it should keep you from serving any time on the ship's cleaning detail. All right, this way, please. So, you're the vanguard that took down that terramorph on Tau City. You've made quite an impression around here. Everyone upstairs is talking about it. Damn, that must have been one hell of a firefight. I almost regret missing out on all the fun. Of course, we don't normally see that kind of action on the Vigilance, but we have our moments.
We have our moments.
All right, Vanguard. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander 𝐦𝐤𝐤 should be waiting for you. Good luck.
Well, good. Get in there, you thought. Let's get straight to business, nigga.
Ah, there you are. Commander 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿.
𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿.
Glad to have you aboard.
Yes, sir.
I was beginning to think you were having second thoughts about Commander Tuala's offer. 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐵 is a division of the UC Navy.
The Navy.
While they handle big picture stuff, we deal specifically with pirates.
Ah.
Since you're already involved with the Vanguard, I don't have to underline how important your contribution will be to the security of our spaceways. Yes, I know. I was intentionally vague when I advised Mast of my needs, but rest assured, I'll answer all your questions in due time. So, now that you're part of the team,
I'm part of the
allow me to
what?
introduce you to your new home.
What?
This is the operations center of the UC Vigilance. SysDef's nerve center, dedicated to the destruction of the
Wait,
Crimson Fleet.
what? Wait.
We are currently in the solar system, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily. Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse.
Oh shit, he said it.
Let's get one thing straight right now, soldier. I don't care if you're from the Vanguard, the Navy, or the technician that scrapes the carbon scoring of the engine nozzles. In my eyes, your past service no longer matters. You're now an agent of SysDef, meaning that it's my job to keep you alive.
Oh. Get me in a room with him.
Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Cydonia.
Nice.
So you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention.
Okay.
Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volii. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's classified.
Sorry.
Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously holding it will be spending the rest of their life in prison. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal.
Okay.
Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know.
What the hell? Nigga, why are you here?
Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. If I didn't have confidence in your abilities, I would have told Commander Tuala to send someone else. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. Fine. Whatever gets the job done. Look. Before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary.
Okay.
At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. I don't want promises. I'm just asking you to think. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck.
Thank you, Commander.
For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines.
Wow.
Good luck.
Okay.
All right, Commander.
Hello? Yes. What?
All right. We don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up.
Okay.
While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood?
I'm clear.
I'd scour every inch of wherever the Crimson Fleet sends you. Otherwise, you're wasting our time and risking your neck for nothing. Criminals are sloppy. Look hard enough, and I'm certain you'll stumble across their mess. Rationalize it however you like, but that evidence is critical to the success of Commander 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐬's operation. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. Haven't you been paying attention? Our goal here is the complete eradication of the Crimson Fleet. In order to do that, we need to dismantle them piece by piece from within. If you bring me evidence, we can make arrests and slowly drain their resources. Think of it as a death by 1,000 tiny cuts.
No, it hurts. I'm simply trying to understand my task, Lieutenant.
It's not you, it's the Crimson Fleet. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard.
Loud and clear.
Yes, of course. And your actions will be duly noted in your records. I'll see to that personally. Speaking of which, that reminds me of something else you need to know. Commander 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐬 has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts.
What?
Well, that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation.
Duh.
You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals.
No way.
So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation. It's not generous, it's motivational. Commander 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐬's idea. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Cydonia. Make contact with 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐿 Boden. And with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. We'll be here if you need us.
Bro, I just want...
Vanguard.
Alex Vong.
I don't know about you. That isn't it. We've got plenty of green pilots picked right from the academy. But yours happened to come from a different farm. Vanguard. But if Commander 𝐬𝐤𝐤 says you're SysDef, then you are one of us. For now. I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not. Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope-Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail?
What,
Compared to
nigga?
that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake. You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call FOGO, a firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best, and I've got the kills to prove it.
Ooh.
You got some set of manners, kid. The fleet are gonna eat you up.
What? Don't say that.
Long story. I got my start in the academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐬. Me and 3 other Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with SysDef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is. Stay frosty.
Say no more.
Pardon.
Lookout. Notify us if you see anything suspicious.
Word of advice? Don't mess with me.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐤. I'm busy. Wouldn't be the first time I've heard that line. Oh, don't give me that look. I'm just having a laugh. What have you got for me? Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though. What else you got?
The Trade Authority turning away contraband. Now I've seen everything.
No, they're right. What they didn't tell you is that I have a self-preservation streak 1 kilometer wide. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit.
1,000? Oh my god.
You must be new at this game, love, so I'm gonna let that one slide. In our business, nothing gets done until money is exchanged, even if that means leaving a credit on each and every rung of the ladder as you climb your way up. Sure, go ahead. You shoot me, and the TA will have bounty hunters on your ass before you even get back to the spaceport. Listen, love, I've heard it all. Threats bounce right off, so either cough up the finder's fee or try and sell that shipment on your own.
Oh.
You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unload that stuff for you.
Fucking thought.
Well, well. It appears she suddenly remembers everything. How nice.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear.
You thought.
Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
You've got something for me?
I hate this game so much. I hate this. Yo, I hate this game. Capitalism times a million.
Neva, sit down, have a drink. So, smooth jump into the Soul system? UC security hassle you?
Cut the crap, Adler, and let's make this quick. There's only so long I can stand a stink of minor sweat and stale beer.
Okay, take it easy. Here's the fleet's kickback, just like I promised.
What is this bullshit? This is half of what you promised.
No reason to get upset, sweetie. Security around 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤's been cracking down, and it's tough to get the Deimos marks to play ball. That means I'm spending big on bribes, covering lost shipments. This isn't exactly like running a pharmacy out here, you know.
Two things, Adler. And I'm gonna make this simple enough so even a total imbecile like yourself can understand. One, I don't give a damn about your excuses. You owe us the agreed amount on time every month. And two, you call me sweetie ever again, and I'll shove my knife so far up your ass that people will mistake you for a unicorn.
God damn.
Okay, sorry, Neva. I'll make it work. Here's the rest.
That's more like it. I'll see you in a month.
Oh my god.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤 heard you. Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first.
It's always do something.
You're a clever one, aren't you? Let's just say I have a certain influential affiliation. And leave it at that. Basically, you want that Aurora moved, I'm your guy. Yeah, well, she isn't running the show here. I am.
Well, this is utterly ridiculous. Do we really have to jump through these hoops to get what we need from you?
Lady, if you want me to move that shipment for your pal here, you're going to do whatever the hell I want. You got that? Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. Whoa. Hang on a second. No one said anything about killing. All I said was, I want my money. How you handle that is up to you. His name's
She hates it
Carl
when I want to
Fielding.
kill niggas.
I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable looking guy in the entire place.
Yo, you gotta chill.
brave, coming to see a bona fide tracker. Hey, darling. You look like the type who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty.
Don't call me that
The
shit.
Trackers Alliance can always use more bounty hunters to round up and kill wanted criminals. If that feels like your speed, talk to me. Or check out our posts on the mission boards. Good. Here's the short of it. I'm only stationed here because I made a mistake. Killed the wrong bounty, and the right one got away. It's bugged me ever since. Now, I heard rumors that this no-good, dirty Quad has been lurking around Mars, but I ain't had the good fortune of him strolling on in here. I think he's smart enough to know better. I got a plan in place to find him, but I gotta prove to my other tracker contact that he's here. That's where you come in. Just gotta plant a sensor. No danger to you. He doesn't know it, but he's got a chip in him with a unique ID. Part of the reason he's learned to keep out of the major cities and
Never touching that shit for a while.
Trackers always manage to find him when he comes to town, so he just stays away. But he's a slippery fella. That's why I want to send someone to catch him where he feels safe, just along the outskirts. Sensors tuned to that chip. Makes sense now, don't it? Hell no! If I'd have wanted you to do that, I'd be asking you to do that. Nah, I got a good friend, tracker buddy who stuck by me through and through. Gonna split the haul with him as soon as he brings the mark in. That ain't up for debate or negotiation. Under no circumstances are you to interact with my quarry, or you'll find yourself at the wrong end of a bounty. Alright, so you're gonna want to take this here sensor and put it way up at the tippy top of the old Mars launchpad tower where it's nice and unobstructed. You're gonna want to make sure you've got a boost pack to help get yourself up there, else it's gonna be a tough climb. Mars gravity's on the low side, but not that low. It'll track down my Mark's chip signal, assuming he shows, and I'll call in my partner to take care of him. Clear out and come back to me as soon as you're done so you don't spook the quarry. Get it? Got it? Good.
This is a courtesy reminder that despite the low gravity on Mars, a fall into Cydonia's lower level is still likely to result in injury or...
There's definitely something magical about
Something I can help you with? Adler Camp. Who the heck is that? Yes, of course. You're right. Adler's not going to just give up now, is he? I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Sound good? Yeah? Well, I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now, okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Perhaps he's already been through enough.
I'm a miner for Deimos. It's not what I was hoping for out of life. Yeah, it's a lousy company. Pays me a salary. But I depend on the profit-sharing bonuses to keep food on the table for my family. Hey, now wait a second. Just because things are tough, and I might be spending my afternoons at the Spear, it doesn't mean I don't care about my family. Adler doesn't get to judge me. No, he's just a low-life pirate who thinks he can push everyone around.
Android 3.
Holy crap. Really? You do that for me? Wow. I don't even know what to say. Thank you. For everything. And don't worry. I'll never borrow anything from Adler again. I promise.
What can I help you with? We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course.
What the?
I have an important personal decision to make. But I need to discuss something with you first. No, not at all. This is something that's been weighing on my mind for a long time. I was hoping if I talked about it with you, I could get your opinion. That's all. Phew, thank you. So, where to start? Before I was with the Navigator Corps, I was career military, part of the United Colonies Navy. When the Colony War broke out, I was posted as the chief navigator on a warship, the Dauntless. Then you were right. I didn't want to go into detail before because, well, just hear me out. There was a particularly bloody battle. We were fighting over a world in the 𝐤𝐸𝐾 system. Worst fighting I'd ever seen. We lost 12 ships that day. 12. Including my own. Economic reasons. Several of the worlds in the 𝐤𝐸𝐾 system were mineral-rich.
Always minerals.
Both sides wanted to drop refinery outposts on the surface to bolster their supply. With hundreds of lives lost on both sides, I'd argue there were no winners at all. Now let me finish.
Of course.
The ship was barely intact. The captain and first mate died the previous day, which put me in command. A shrewd captain would have called for the crew to abandon ship. But I was so angry. I wanted to stay. I needed to fight. Well, I didn't have the luxury of indecision. I had to act.
I get it.
We fought for hours. But the damage was fatal. I gave the order to abandon ship and the crew piled into the escape shuttle. As the shuttle launched, I could see it was damaged. I heard screams before the radio cut. The last thing I saw, they were spiraling helplessly towards the planet's surface.
Oh my god!
There was nothing I could do. You're sorry. For me? If I hadn't been so stubborn, so eager to prove that I could handle command, my crew would have had more time to escape. Try telling that to their loved ones. When the dust settled, the United Colonies gave me a medal. Can you believe that? A damn medal. I never even had a chance to find the shuttle wreckage and give my crew a proper burial.
I kinda don't want to answer it. Nah.
After I checked every section of the ship for wounded crew, I took the other escape shuttle. If I hadn't, I would have died. The Dauntless came apart minutes after I escaped. Bad luck. That sounds familiar. You once told me that the military might not have been my calling. You don't know how right you were. Don't you get it? Everything I do, everything I touch, somehow falls apart.
Hold on.
That's why I'm worried about us. Look, it's clear the two of us are becoming more than partners. We're becoming close friends. Even though I've pushed people away in the past, I feel different when I'm around you.
What the?
I feel safer, comfortable, not afraid to admit who I am. I'm terrified I'm going to screw that up. All this nonsense and you still have faith, eh? You really care about me, don't you? I'm counting on that. Look, I think I've said all I can handle for now.
Yeah.
Thank you for being there, for listening to me when I needed it the most. I'll never forget this. I promise.
Things can get pretty glum around here.
Have something for me?
She's always trying to...
There, would you look at that? I knew that bum was holding out on me. He going to be a problem anymore? Or did he get the message? Nice, nice. You're kind of a natural at this. Leaning on deadbeats comes easy to you. I like that. You know, if you like this kind of work, I can get you more. A lot more. You think you can handle running with my, associates? That's what I'm talking about. I like your style. All right. I'll call ahead and get a hold of 𝐦𝐨𝐵𝐿. She's second to the big boss himself. Head out to Europa. You'll find her there. I suggest you listen to whatever she has to say. Oh, and I've taken care of that Aurora shipment for you too. Don't spend all that cash in one place.
5 rats.
Do your part to keep Sidonia free.
Acknowledged. You're clear to dock at docking port 1. The commander will be waiting for you in operation.
Oh my god, I almost crashed.
You have a clean dock, right on the money.
Greetings, Captain.
Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep beep. Moving in. I got the sauce on deck. I got the sauce on deck.
Commander 𝐤𝐨𝐲 is the heart and soul of UC system.
What can I do for you? Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find. Good. The more you find, the stronger our case. Interesting. Looks like he's been meeting up regularly with 𝐦𝐨𝐵𝐿 to transfer goods and cash from Sidonia. Which means the Crimson Fleet's just lost one of their drop points. That should set them back a bit. Any other fragments? Okay, fine, fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Wow, look who finally had the guts to show up. Looks like Adler finally did something right for once. So, big shot. I hear Adler thinks you're good enough to join our crew. To Adler? Sure. But for all I know, you're just his latest impulse buy. Still, I'm feeling generous. So I'm gonna give you a chance to prove you're not a total waste of cabin air. You betting your life on that? Because the only way out of our organization is with a warhead up your grab drive. So, before I put you to work, let's get everything out in the open. I don't know if Adler mentioned it, and for his sake, I hope he hasn't. But you aren't about to sign up with any average pirate crew. You're signing up with the Crimson Fleet. That's if you get through this little task I have planned for you. There's a medical supply ship called the 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐤, jumping into Enceladus's orbit. On board that ship, you'll find a traitor named Austin Rake. I want him dead. There's a lesson in this. I need you to learn what'll happen if you decide to turn your back on the fleet. Consider it your glimpse into a possible, unfortunate future. So you'd better pay close attention. Kill Rake? That, if you want my advice, there's only one way to guarantee he dies. Turn the 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐤 into space junk. It's done when Rake stops. Head back here when you're finished.
say no, but frankly, it will be safer for us that way. All right, you can dock. We will talk then.
Yo, my shit too fast.
Nice clean dock, Captain.
I am not sure what to make of you being here. If you wanted to kill us, you could have done that from your ship. If you wanted our cargo, we could have jettisoned it. I guess I should just stop talking and let you say your piece. That is not something I am going to do, not until you reveal your intentions. As far as you are concerned, I am Austin Rake. You want him? you're going to have to kill me. Now, do you mind telling us what this is all about? You really do not know which one of us is 𝐦𝐤𝐤, do you? And you do not seem to care either, which makes me think you really want to save him. Okay, I have idea. We can strike his name from Manifest, make it so he was never on board. Then, when we dock, we will leave him on this ship and deliver him to another port. That is fair. We do not want any part of the fleet. Is that all right with you, Austin?
Do I have a choice?
It does not appear you do. Well then, it is agreed. You go back to your ship and we will make sure 𝐦𝐤𝐤 was never on ours. And in case any of your handlers get suspicious, here. We had an extra crate of supplies loaded, in case one got damaged. This should be proof you were not here to bargain.
I thought we were dead. I can't believe it.
So you're the fleet's new dog, huh?
Grab me. I literally dropped my phone and literally hit everything. That was not intentional at all.
Crime's at an all-time low around 𝐸𝐸𝐷𝐸. You help me with this? So, you're fixing to take yourself the trackers along.
Wait.
Now, look.
Wait.
Good.
That's what I meant to do.
Here's your pay.
Hey, welcome to the... Cool.
Never a dull day.
Damn it.
Captain! Over here. The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone.
What?
Of a man named Francois Sanon.
What?
One-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War.
What?
Former head of the UC Navy.
What?
They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned.
Wait, what?
The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians.
What am I hearing?
Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Wait.
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young.
What?
Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world.
Okay.
He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians.
Oh.
And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day.
What?
So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne.
Oh my god.
A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the colony war to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. It's not like that. You need to be here. You're the only other eyewitness. What you say up there matters. I just wanted to make sure you knew all the hurdles we're about to face. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars.
Mars?
The Red Devils unit I was a part of. They were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything.
The dust gets in your
The
eyes?
human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place.
What?
It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But 𝐦𝐸, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life. Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions. I strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Oh, the donor, haha. United Colonies. What can I steal? Office of Interstellar Affairs. Oh my.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report.
Hello.
You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information. Well, I'll be sure your commanding officer hears that you've done them satisfactorily. Now then, we have 2 petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤 warfare team's terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
Get rid of these motherfucking terramorphs, nigga? Are you kidding me?
That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting.
Okay.
While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon.
Are you kidding me?
They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
Wow.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium.
I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require. Let's keep this civil, shall we?
We're trying our best.
And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
Bitch. He clawed out a monster's mouth.
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
The data is dangerous. He personally asked me, so...
Yes, given what we've heard, I find myself in agreement, Captain.
No, the captain is precisely right. We could hardly be expected to make a galaxy-affecting decision on such scant evidence.
Yes, a fair assessment, Chief Diplomat. So then, while the data you two have presented is compelling, I think we can safely say it's insufficient for the level of action you've requested.
And I can understand that.
Perhaps once we've...
What the...
What was that?
What? What?
Incident. Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport.
What?
Terramorphs.
What?
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God. There must be another explanation.
My jaw's on the floor right now.
Evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later.
Chief 𝐸_𝐸, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly.
You can't.
The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world.
Off-world?
Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Let's go. Oh! No way! Is there really terramorphs here?
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you! That's it! Now hit him with everything!
They really are gone. Good luck finding Barrett. Come back soon.
I'll be all right. Nothing a bucket of med packs won't fix.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence.
The Terramorph's influence?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We'd tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog.
What?
It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there. Well, you better keep that EM weapon loaded then. Now let's move.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
There's something nearby.
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
He's getting the, oh.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked
Officer.
down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Thank heavens those Marines were here. I'm not sure we would have held.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts. Roger that. We're on you.
Why am I aiming at it?
I'll handle this.
Oh!
Captain, you're going to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real. We have to put down that orb.
Who's laughing? Don't hurt my lip. Don't hurt her. Oh. Get back. Oh my god.
Need to stay sharp. Eyes peeled.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh my.
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant what happened.
He had a minigun. Yo, Ryan too.
The heavens you're back in one piece. Though I guess our people weren't so lucky.
The few protecting the many.
And it would have been plenty more if it hadn't been for the two of you. The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before...
It moves so fast.
It does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does move fast. First, they were sent in that state. Then, nah, bro.
How the hell do Terramorphs get into the city like that undetected?
You tell me, nigga.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Losing anyone in the line of duty
there
is
you
a
are.
tragedy.
I believe
These attacks,
we have some things
they can't happen again.
The next time Terramorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
Admiral...
You've got the Cabinet's full backing to prevent more attacks. Understand?
Full? Excuse me?
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Yeah, I'm glad there's enough proof. In order for us to get proof, she needed to have that whole town attacked.
No, you two were in the right. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, after today's events, the Cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be supporting your collection of the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks.
Bitch, I already got to deal with the constellation.
Those goals,
I didn't even do the main stage.
We're going to need the right people in the right places.
I didn't even do the main story.
As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐬.
Your former rank?
Immediately.
What?
To your former rank of Major.
What?
As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
You don't even know what this is.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed, first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun to play ball.
Oh.
Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now.
Nigga, I die every day.
The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Nigga said a diplomat. I'm crying.
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
God damn, how you you sparing now.
The very next item on my list. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city.
Oh, I could buy property.
We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC.
Oh.
There's also a credit disbursement when you first join.
What?
Help get you on your feet.
What?
But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
Yo, she just sauced me up. I'm a United Colony citizen. I'm a diplomat. I used to be a neon rat, so you know, I was a bastard. I had to grow up somehow, but you know, do I really want to? I don't. Let me think about it.
So be it. But I would ask you don't take too long. The fate of the settled systems may rest on your decision.
That's more than fine.
Just killed UC citizens.
Spaceport.
They're not killing
that
anymore.
includes you.
Oh wow, I have to answer now. Oh well, all right.
Have you reconsidered? Will you help the UC? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we of course won't be sending you in without the proper support.
Oh.
Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives.
Deputy?
You should be able to find her in our office.
Her?
And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. We're dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Counting on you, Captain.
Damage to the space.
Don't let my people
The
sacrifice.
costs of this attack are greater than I think we realize.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Dealing with ambassadors? I think I'd rather fight more Terramorphs.
Yeah, me too. Come on, Lin. We out.
We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels. Our laurels, in fact, became uninhabitable a long time ago. Helps to remember that.
I will remember that.
Yes.
Yes. What?
Chief Yassine, these orders can't be. Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done.
What you doing?
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre.
Chief Diplomat.
Second in command.
Second in command.
I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice Archives ASAP. So, we've got no time to waste. You know what the archives are, correct? Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players.
What?
Access to the archives is only granted in cases of
the
dire
UC,
emergency.
the...
It requires a one-time use code from
you
each
know,
of the
all
3
the other
Armistice
factions,
signatories. UC,
yeah, Freestar,
Freestar
and the
Collective,
House.
and House Varun. Now, the UC,
UC, Freestar, and House.
So that means we'll need to convince 2
2
people,
more, yep.
the
yep.
ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and
Yep.
House Varun, to hand over their codes.
Yep.
Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier
Said than done, yep.
No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers
What?
generated on the fly
What?
based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times.
What?
They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side. Very funny. This is going to be hard enough already. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
Well, if I use your wisdom...
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
Oh, so now you're
But it
sneaking
does mean
up
we
in
need
it.
to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
Let's deal with Freestar.
Ah, the good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War.
Oh.
And her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
Oh.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her. Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support. And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code. Said like you've done this before.
May have.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters.
Oh my.
Which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
Okay.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
Fine.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you. Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe.
Okay.
Bears less of a grudge towards the UC.
Nice.
He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Makes sense.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything.
Oh.
Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to.
Oh.
Absolutely do not harm anyone.
Oh my.
If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID.
Oh.
I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise. Oh, and I want you to have these. Someone with diplomatic skills like yours should know how to put classified intel to use. Or know when to grease a few palms.
Oh my god! Oh, she gave me a man, send me Sam.
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, she just dropped a bag in my book bag. Alright, I really was messing with the sys def, but oh wait, I can keep the sys def. It's the suit. The suit? No? Oh, oh. Lock the access door, awesome. Exactly what I needed.